Hey guys, I hope you're all doing really well. Today I'm really excited to be reintroducing a challenge that I tried to do at the beginning of this year, and I'm going to be doing a bit of a twist on it. So I'm doing a 1 month 2 palettes, whereas at the beginning of the year, like in February, I did a 1 month 1 palette, and that challenge just was not for me. I felt a little bit too limited. I just felt like I wasn't being very creative and I wasn't getting use out of my entirety of my collection. And not that I'm going to get like use out of every single thing in my collection in 1 month, but I don't know, the challenge just wasn't for me. So I took a step back and I just felt like I really want to do that because I want to make sure I'm rotating through my eyeshadow palettes, because it is like the biggest part of my makeup collection, whereas like foundations and blushes and bronzers and all that kind of like other stuff I don't own in as much excess. So I really want to make sure that I'm making my way through my palettes and just like really formulating my opinions and deciding if they have value in my collection and getting use out of them, right? So that's why I really wanted to do this challenge in the first place. So I wanted to do a bit of a twist on it. I'm sure that other people have done this as well, and I just think that this is going to work out a little bit better for me. So with that being said, I have already picked out the 2 palettes that I'm going to be focusing on, and I'm actually really excited for this combination. The first one is something that is not necessarily new in my collection at this point. I think it is probably about 6 months old in my collection, but it is one of the newest eyeshadow palettes that I have, and it is the Colourpop and Kathleen Light's Dream Street palette. This palette is gorgeous in terms of the color scheme. I've just been really drawn to all of these shades ever since I got this palette. I'm like, this red is stunning. I love the little pops of blues. However, I don't think that this is like the best palette, but I want to just really put it to the test for the next couple weeks and use it alongside this other palette, which I think is not a standalone palette on its own by any means. It is the Pacifica Solar palette. I've had this for just over a year now, and as much as it is a beautiful palette, it definitely isn't a standalone palette. So I really think that these two, I'll show you guys what these look like beside each other. These two are going to look amazing on the eyes together in combination with one another. I think that these are really cool. Like, I can really imagine that red with this gold, or all of the blues paired together. Like, I think that there's so many fun options that I can use these 2 palettes for. And this palette has only 6 eyeshadows here, but I do want to get some use out of the blush, the bronzer, and then I don't really think that I'm going to be able to use the creams because I have had this for a year now and they're not properly sealed. They're pretty much dried up. I'm going to try to use them if I can, or figure out a way to use them, but my focus is basically on like that portion of the palette. I use these both as eyeshadows and as cheek products. I have been using the Dream Street palette off and on for the last 6 months that I've owned it, so I do want to do a review for you guys in the middle of the month. I know that this palette is old news, but I think it would just be a little bit of fun to like talk about older releases because I believe it's still available. So I want to do a review for you guys in the middle of this month. If that's something that you're interested in, please let me know. So after the month, basically my thought is that I will give you a little bit of a before and after on my progress of the palettes. Not that my goal is to hit pan on anything, just to get some use, like I said. But I'll give you a before and after, and then I'll let you know my thoughts on how the palettes work together, but also how they worked independently, and just, yeah, just a little bit of like a mini review at the end of the month. And then I'll show you the next 2 palettes that I want to focus on, because ideally this will go better than my last experiment with this challenge, and I will introduce 2 new palettes. So I think that that will be a lot of fun. I am so excited to do this. I feel like this is going to be so much more useful for me personally than the 1 month 1 palette was. Basically, these are going to be my 2 focus palettes for the month, but they're not going to be the 2 eyeshadow palettes that I use exclusively, or the 2 eyeshadow options that I use exclusively. You guys know I have 2 eyeshadows in my Project 10 pan, so I want to use those, and I just want to make some use out of these. Make sure that they are my priority to use, just so that I can give you those really brief reviews and I can create some fun looks that I might have not created previously to this challenge. But I don't want to set myself up for failure by like being like, oh, I need to use it 5 times a week or something like that. I don't want to set myself up for failure like that, or feel like I'm too limited or create a restraint on myself. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter video today, but I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this, and I hope that you're looking forward to seeing more of these to come. This is going to be definitely a challenge for me, but I am really excited to be doing this. I think that it's really nice to know that you're focusing on certain products in your collection. And yeah, that's absolutely everything for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are focusing on any eyeshadow palettes in your collection, please let me know. And if you see any fun color combos between these two palettes, please let me know. And I'll definitely try out that kind of look. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.